New York City, 1972. Madison Square Garden. The Rolling Stones are performing their legendary North American tour. 20,000 fans pack the arena. The energy is electric. The music is deafening. This is rock and roll at its absolute peak. Backstage is a different world. A controlled chaos of crew members, equipment, security personnel, and hangers-on. The Stones have one of the tightest security operations in the music business. They need it. Fame at this level brings danger, obsessed fans, criminals, people who want something from the band. Running security is a man everyone calls Big Jack Malone, 6'6", 280 pounds, former NFL defensive lineman who played 3 seasons with the Giants before a knee injury ended his career. He transitioned to private security, started with small clubs, worked his way up. By 1972, he's protecting the biggest rock band in the world. Jack believes in one fundamental principle: physical presence. When people see a man his size standing in a doorway, they reconsider their choices. When they don't reconsider, Jack makes them reconsider. He's broken up fights, ejected violent drunks, physically removed people who refused to leave. In 5 years of working major concerts, nobody has gotten past Big Jack Malone. Tonight, Bruce Lee is backstage. He's there as a guest of Mick Jagger. They met at a Hollywood party 6 months earlier. Mick expressed interest in martial arts. Bruce offered to teach him some basics. They've been training together occasionally when the Stones are in Los Angeles. Tonight, Mick invited Bruce to the New York show. VIP access, full backstage privileges. Jack doesn't know who Bruce Lee is. Doesn't recognize him. Just sees a small Chinese man in the restricted area, 5'7", maybe 140 pounds, wearing casual clothes, no credentials visible, no security badge, just standing near the dressing rooms like he belongs there. Jack approaches. His voice carries the authority of someone who's never been questioned. "Sir, this area is restricted. You need to leave." Bruce turns. His expression is calm, respectful. "I'm Mick's guest. He invited me backstage." Jack has heard this before. Everyone claims to know someone. Everyone has an excuse. "Do you have credentials? A backstage pass?" Bruce pats his pockets, realizes he left the pass in his jacket, which is in Mick's dressing room. "I left it inside. If you check with Mick, he'll confirm." "I'm not disturbing Mr. Jagger during his show." "Oh, you need to leave now." "I understand you're doing your job, but I'm legitimately supposed to be here." Jack's patience is wearing thin. He's dealt with 100 people exactly like this. Smooth talkers, name droppers. They all leave the same way, escorted. "Last chance. Walk out on your own or I remove you." Bruce doesn't move, not defiant, just standing his ground. "I'd prefer to wait for Mick. This is a misunderstanding." Jack has seen enough. He reaches for Bruce's arm. Standard security technique. Establish physical control. Guide the person toward the exit. Use size and strength to make non-compliance difficult. His hand closes on Bruce's forearm. That's when everything changes. Before we continue this incredible backstage encounter, if you're fascinated by these secret Bruce Lee celebrity stories, I'd hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We reveal encounters that happened behind closed doors, witnessed by only a handful of people, buried under privacy agreements for decades. These are the moments that prove Bruce Lee's mastery extended far beyond movies. Now let's see what happened when Big Jack grabbed Bruce Lee's arm. Jack's grip is firm, professional. He's done this 1,000 times. Apply pressure, guide the person's movement, use superior size and leverage. Most people comply immediately when they feel a 280-pound former NFL player controlling their arm. Bruce doesn't resist the grip. That would be pointless. Instead, his free hand moves, lightning fast, touches a specific point on Jack's wrist, a pressure point where the radial nerve passes close to the surface. Bruce's fingers press. Precisely. The controlled pressure on a nerve cluster. Jack's hand spasms open, involuntarily. The grip releases. His fingers won't respond to his brain's commands. For 3 seconds, he can't close his hand, can't understand what just happened. Bruce steps back, creates distance. His expression remains calm. I don't want problems. Just let me wait for Mick. Jack stares at his hand. The feeling is returning. Pins and needles. Then normal sensation. He's been in thousands of physical confrontations, bar fights, stadium brawls, street altercations during his playing days. Nobody has ever done anything like that to him. Pride kicks in. This small Chinese man just made him look foolish, made him lose control of his own hand. Jack's reputation is built on being unstoppable, on never backing down, on handling any situation with overwhelming force. You just made a big mistake, Jack says. His voice is different now, not professional security, personal. He moves forward, not grabbing this time, attacking. His right hand shoots out, a strike aimed at Bruce's chest, not full power. Jack's not trying to seriously injure, just trying to physically dominate. Push this small man backward. Show him who's in charge. Bruce's hand intercepts Jack's wrist, mid-strike. The interception is so fast, so precise, that Jack barely sees it. His punch, which should have connected with Bruce's chest, stops 6 inches short. Frozen, controlled. Then Bruce moves. His other hand touches Jack's elbow. Light contact. But it creates leverage. Jack feels his arm being bent at an angle that's uncomfortable. Not painful yet, just wrong. His body wants to move to relieve the pressure. He tries to pull his arm free. Can't. Bruce's grip is too precise, too well positioned. Jack weighs 280 pounds. He's 140 pounds heavier than Bruce, but the leverage is all wrong. His strength has nowhere to apply. Jack makes a decision. His left hand forms a fist. He'll use his free arm. Knock this small man off his feet. End this quickly. The fist launches. Fast. Committed. Street fighting technique from his NFL days. Big overhand right that's ended bar fights. Bruce sees it coming. Reads the intention before the fist fully commits. His hands release Jack's right arm. Both move to intercept the incoming left. One hand redirects the fist's trajectory. The other strikes Jack's extended elbow. Not hard, just a tap, but precisely placed. Jack's elbow bends the wrong way. Just slightly. Just enough to send a warning signal through his nervous system. Pain. Not severe. Just enough to make his brain scream, "Stop!" His left arm drops, useless for the moment. His right arm is still recovering from the leverage trap Bruce put it in. Both arms compromised. Both unable to function properly. Jack has been fighting his entire life. He knows when he's outmatched. His arms aren't working right. This small man is doing things Jack doesn't understand. Things his size and strength can't overcome. But Jack's pride won't let him stop. He's Big Jack Malone, former NFL player, professional security, the man who never backs down. He can't be beaten by someone half his size. He charges, full body tackle, use his mass, his weight. Crash into Bruce like he's breaking through an offensive line. Physics should work. What 280 pounds moving fast creates force that 140 pounds can't resist. Bruce doesn't try to resist. That would be impossible. Instead, he moves. At an angle, 45 degrees. Jack's charging mass passes through the space where Bruce was standing a fraction of a second earlier. As Jack passes, Bruce's leg sweeps. Low, fast. catches Jack's ankle at the exact moment when his weight is committed forward, when his balance is most vulnerable. Jack, all 280 pounds of him, crashes to the floor. Hard. The impact knocks the air from his lungs. His ribs ache from hitting concrete. His knee, the one that ended his NFL career, screams in pain. 9 seconds have passed since Jack first tried to grab Bruce's arm. 9 seconds from first contact to Big Jack Malone, lying on the backstage floor, gasping for air, unable to understand what just happened. The backstage area has gone quiet. Crew members have stopped working. Other security personnel are frozen. Everyone watched Big Jack, the unstoppable force, get systematically dismantled by a man half his size. Bruce stands over Jack, not threatening, not gloating, just present. He extends his hand, offering help. Jack stares at the hand. His pride is screaming. His professional reputation is in tatters. Everyone saw this. Everyone knows Big Jack Malone just lost a fight to someone who weighs 140 pounds. But something else is there too. Curiosity, respect. Jack has been in hundreds of fights. This wasn't like any of them. This small man never threw a full power strike. Never tried to hurt him. Just controlled, neutralized, demonstrated complete mastery. Jack takes the hand. Bruce pulls him to his feet. Now the small man's strength is surprising, more than it should be for his size. "What the hell was that?" Jack asks. His breathing is still labored. "Jeet Kune, martial arts. You're very strong and very tough, but strength has limitations when facing someone who understands leverage and timing." Before Jack can respond, Mick Jagger appears. The show has ended. He's walking toward his dressing room. He sees Bruce, sees Jack on his feet, but clearly shaken, sees the crowd of crew members watching. "Bruce, there you are. I was wondering where you'd gone." Mick looks at Jack. "I see you've met my martial arts instructor." Jack's face goes through several emotions: embarrassment, understanding, then something that might be humor. "He didn't have credentials. I tried to remove him." Mick grins. That famous Rolling Stones grin. And how did that work out for you, Jack?" "Not well, Mr. Jagger. Not well at all." Subscribe and turn on notifications because we have more celebrity encounters coming that prove Bruce Lee's reputation reached far beyond Hollywood. These stories stayed private for decades. Drop a comment about what surprised you most. Now let's see what happened after this backstage confrontation. The dressing room is spacious, comfortable furniture, food and drinks, the luxury that comes with being the biggest rock band in the world. Mick invited both Bruce and Jack inside. He wants to hear what happened. Jack explains. The attempted removal, Bruce's techniques, the 9 seconds that ended with Jack on the floor. He's honest about it. Doesn't try to save face, just states facts. Mick is delighted. "Bruce, you didn't hurt him, did you?" "No, I just demonstrated principles. Control instead of damage." Jack is still processing. "I've been in fights my entire life. Football, security work, street brawls. Nothing like that. You made my hands stop working, made my arms useless, took me down without really striking me. Because I wasn't fighting you. I was redirecting you, using your strength against itself. Jeet Kune isn't about overpowering opponents. It's about understanding how force works and making it irrelevant." "Can you teach that?" Bruce considers. "I can teach principles, but it takes time, years of practice, understanding, not just techniques." Mick interjects. "Jack, I've been training with Bruce for 6 months. Just basics. It's changed how I think about everything. Not just fighting, problem solving, approaching obstacles. Then the philosophy extends beyond combat." Jack looks at Bruce differently now, not as a small man who embarrassed him, as someone who possesses knowledge Jack doesn't understand. Would you be willing to show me more? Not to fight, to learn. Of course, if Mick doesn't mind me using his dressing room. Mick laughs. I'd pay to watch this. For the next hour, while crew members pack equipment and fans filter out of Madison Square Garden, Bruce Lee gives an impromptu demonstration to Big Jack Malone and several other Rolling Stone security personnel who've gathered. He shows them pressure points, how to control someone without hurting them, how to redirect aggression, how to use minimal force for maximum effect. Principles that apply directly to security work, where the goal isn't to destroy opponents, but to control situations. Jack absorbs everything, asks intelligent questions, demonstrates understanding. He's not just learning techniques, he's changing how he thinks about security work. Keith Richards wanders in at some point, watches for a few minutes. Bloody hell, Mick, your kung fu teacher just educated our entire security team. Jeet Kune do, Bruce corrects gently. Different philosophy than traditional kung fu. Whatever it's called, it's brilliant. The Rolling Stones tour continued, but something changed in how their security operated. Jack Malone integrated Bruce's principles into training protocols. Pressure point control instead of brute force when possible. Redirecting aggressive people instead of fighting them. Using positioning and leverage instead of relying purely on size. The other security personnel noticed. Situations that would have become violent confrontations ended peacefully. Difficult removals happened smoothly. The job became less about being the biggest, toughest guy, and more about being smart, positioned correctly, understanding human biomechanics. 3 months later, Jack sent Bruce a letter, thanked him for the lesson, explained how the principles had changed his approach to security work, mentioned specific situations where Bruce's techniques prevented injuries that would have happened under his old methods. Bruce wrote back, invited Jack to visit his school in Los Angeles if the tour brought the Stones back to California. Jack accepted, began training seriously, 2 hours a week when he could manage it, more when the Stones were in LA for extended periods. Other security professionals noticed Jack's transformation. Word spread through the concert security community. Big Jack Malone trains with that Bruce Lee guy. Techniques actually work, not movie stuff. Real applicable skills for security work. Bruce gained students from an unexpected demographic. Bodyguards, security chiefs, bouncers, people whose jobs required controlling situations, and people without creating unnecessary violence. They found Jeet Kune do perfectly suited to their needs. Mick Jagger continued training with Bruce whenever their schedules aligned. The relationship evolved beyond teacher-student into genuine friendship. Bruce attended Stones concerts. Mick visited Bruce's film sets. They discussed philosophy, approach, the similarities between performing and martial arts mastery. Years later, after Bruce's death in 1973, Mick spoke about him in an interview. "Ma Bruce taught me that size doesn't determine outcomes. Intelligence does. Position does. Understanding does. That lesson applied to music, business, life, everything." Jack Malone worked security for the Rolling Stones until the band retired from touring in 1981. He then opened his own security training company. The curriculum was built on principles Bruce Lee taught him that night in Madison Square Garden's Backstage area. Traditional security training focuses on physical dominance, Jack would tell students. Be bigger, be stronger, be more intimidating. But what happens when you face someone who doesn't care about your size? Someone who understands leverage and timing better than you understand force? You lose. Bruce Lee taught me a better way. The story of that 9-second encounter stayed relatively private, and Jack didn't publicize his defeat. Bruce didn't promote himself through it. The Rolling Stones crew members who witnessed it kept the details within their community. But among professional security personnel, the story became legend. Big Jack Malone, former NFL player, 280 pounds, got controlled by Bruce Lee in 9 seconds. Malone became one of Bruce's most dedicated students, changed how concert security operates. The principle echoes through professional security training even today. Control over destruction, positioning over strength, understanding over brute force. These concepts trace back to Bruce Lee teaching an NFL defensive lineman that his 280 pounds meant nothing against someone who understood combat at a deeper level. Madison Square Garden, 1972. A security chief tried to remove an unauthorized person from backstage. 9 seconds later, he was on the floor, questioning everything he thought he knew about physical confrontation. That 9-second lesson changed one man's career and influenced an entire industry's approach to security work. The encounter wasn't about winning or losing, it was about education. Jack Malone learned that his excellent training, his size, his strength, his experience, all had limits. There were ways of fighting, ways of controlling, ways of thinking about physical confrontation that existed outside his framework. That knowledge didn't make him weaker. It made him better, more complete, more effective at his job, less likely to hurt people unnecessarily, more capable of controlling situations that his old methods would have escalated into violence. Bruce Lee didn't defeat Big Jack Malone that night. He educated him and showed him a different path, offered him knowledge that transformed how he approached his profession. And Jack, to his credit, had the humility to recognize the gift and the dedication to pursue it. 9 seconds backstage at a Rolling Stones concert. Two men from completely different worlds. One encounter that changed how professional security thinks about force, control, and the relationship between size and effectiveness. The lesson continues spreading. The influence continues growing. All from 9 seconds when a 280-pound former NFL player learned that mastery defeats mass every single time.